Hey everyone, thanks for checking out another episode of Inside the Mind, a podcast for athletes. Today's episode is with a pro football player out of Alabama by the name of Devion Young. Super cool dude, super down to earth. We got a bit into about his journey to date as well as some obstacles he's had to overcome. But before I spoil too much of it, roll the intro. Thanks for doing this, man.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah. Did you catch the game last night by chance?
The Chicago game?
Yeah, Chicago Packers.
Jesus Christ, yes. That game made me so mad. It made me sick.
I thought as a DB, you might like that game.
To a certain extent, yeah, but offensive wise, no. Did not like it at all.
No, yeah, you got to have some flash in it to enjoy it, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah. When you watch football, do you watch it as a fan or do you kind of watch it as like a player trying to learn?
I'm trying to learn. I used to have idols, but now I just want to be better than them. Truth be told, I just want to be better than everybody I see now.
Yeah. Who are the main guys you're watching playing the NFL?
Like basically, I watched Mark Barron. I watched who was it? I used to watch Talib before he went his way, and then who else was it? Another guy. Oh man, what's his name? He played for the Bills. He was a safety. But I think he went somewhere else. I forgot what his name is.
Yeah, maybe Micah Hyde, maybe.
He had the dreadlocks, man. What's his name?
I don't know, but he was probably good though, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all the hard hitting guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Day to day, what's your training looking like? You going 5-6 times a week?
I'm going every single day this week.
Every single day?
I take weekends off. I take about 2 days off, and then I go Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I go 2 a days.
Wow.
And then every other days I just because I do weights and speed in the morning, and then other than that, I do positional outside on a field with my trainer.
Yeah. Man, that's got to be tough. How do you stay motivated to do that?
Man, I just think about a lot of things that happened, like what I could have done right, what I did wrong. So that's just basically what it is.
Yeah. Was it hard for you to kind of put those things in the past, or did it kind of come naturally?
It just really comes naturally, really.
Yeah. Obviously, get to this point wasn't a straight line up. There was some dips in valleys there.
Mm-hmm.
You started off playing high school. I think I was reading up. You were in Buckmore, in Alabama.
Yes.
Talk about that a bit. Did you feel like kind of any pressure? Kind of as one of the star guys in that team. Do you feel any pressure from the fans or your coaches, or do you kind of back then were you already kind of blocking all that stuff out?
I kind of blocked all that stuff out, but at the same time, I had dealt with three head coaches during my 4 years of high school, so it was kind of good, but at the same time, my head coach kind of put a little fear in because he taught me discipline, and I didn't learn discipline until my I think junior year, so he just kind of taught me everything. So everything else, the pressure on the fans, everything didn't matter to me. So I was just trying to do what he told me to do. So I wouldn't ruin my opportunities.
No, for sure, yeah. And then after high school, you went up to New York, I believe, was it, for a year?
Yeah. First I was really committed to Jacksonville State, and then they told me JUCO was best for me right now. And then after that, it was New York.
Yeah. And then I was reading up. It was pretty crazy, actually. I couldn't believe it that you went to Europe right after, pretty much. And talk about that a bit, because even me, I would have trouble just moving. To I'm in Canada right now, so to move to the States, even for me, would be a big deal. To move across seas, that's got to be a whole nother ballgame.
Man, it was crazy, but at the same time, I was there for I was there for strictly football. They wanted as an import, they want you to come and perform and help them develop the game and also help them improve the team. So it's it was a lot of pressure. Truth be told,
that was more.
Yeah, because if you didn't do your job, it's just basically we don't want you back, basically. And those Europeans, they have they don't show no kind of they don't hide feelings. They'll tell you how they feel and whatnot. So there was a lot of pressure on that.
Yeah. Was it an easy decision to go overseas, or was it take a while to kind of warm up to it?
It was, it was a really tough decision
Yeah.
because at the same time, I'm like, do I need to wait another year to see like what was gonna happen? And but at the same time, I was like, man, it's pretty much dead. Like my college career was basically dead after that. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
probably the decision I had made.
yeah. I think the hardest thing if I had to do that was like leaving like your life behind for a whole year, right? Because you're going to a new
Yes.
country, like knowing nobody. Kind of who did you talk to try to make that decision? What were they telling you? Were the people that were like against it telling you to stay home?
Yeah, like and I don't want to say this, but my mom, she basically just told me, she was like, she wasn't for it at first because I'm going, way beyond the grid of like playing ball, just to keep us
Yep.
alive. So she wasn't for it. But my friend Malik he had taught me out of staying home because he was like he knew like because he played at UNA, he was in a similar situation, and he just basically taught me at the time to like keep at it because he knew I was depressed and he knew I was upset. So
Yeah,
he
yeah,
just really motivated me at the time.
yeah, yeah. So, so those guys were really kind of a key part, and you keep going because maybe go a bit
Yes.
more into like what happened at the end of your college career.
What happened was, it was an eligibility issue. I was a junior college transfer, and like a lot of how the credits don't transfer like
Yeah,
over and
yeah.
whatnot. So apparently, I took some wild credits that I'm gonna say that took some wild credits, and
Oh yeah.
after that, they tried to transfer over. So little did I know that when the coaches at Kentucky State sent me home, they
Yep.
had caused me to have a hold on my account,
Hmm.
and little did I know that the hold was going to be basically for tuition. So we're still fighting to get that off my record right now. So it's
Hmm.
basically what happened. And then on top of that, NCAA kind of just they kind of
Did
ruled
what
me
they did what
ineligible.
they did. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah, yeah. It's tough.
it was
That
tough.
that's got to be a hard thing to overcome. How long was that in the back of your mind? Is it still in the back of your
It
mind
is,
today?
yes, that is still in the back of my mind because I like every time I see college, like I don't even attend college games because it's like, man, it gets me emotional because it's like I could have done this if I was even like if I had thought the way I did now, or like I just wish I could have changed a lot of stuff that I did. So yeah, that still plays a huge part in my role with playing football and whatnot. But like truthfully, I can't blame nobody but myself because I I kind of didn't know better with the ins and outs of football. But if I had been told prior, then I probably would have been okay now. But that still affects me.
Yeah, yeah. I could imagine. Yeah, that would be even thinking about myself, things that, always kind of hindsight's 2020, right? And there's
Yes.
so many things you wish you can go change, but only thing you can do is look forward and look towards the
Yeah.
future. Future's, it's you can control what happens in front of you, right? You can't control what happened in the
Yes.
past. It's already done. You might as well just move on and do the best you can, basically.
Yes.
So I know you said a bit like in Europe, you were there almost as like, it sounded like you were there almost as like a mentor, kind of
Hmm.
like show them how football kind of goes in America.
Hmm.
Do you think that kind of helped you as a player as well? Or
Yes,
yeah,
because I wasn't limited. Like I wasn't limited at like what they want. Like they said, if you could play ball, just show us. Like help us out in the way you can. If you know something, tell us. If you can, like if you want to just showcase what you got to help us out as much as you can, just do it. So I learned a lot about myself when I went to Europe because I didn't know I could do a lot of things that I could do. I
yeah.
knew I could in the back of my mind, but I just never put it to action. So I
Hmm.
learned a lot about myself.
Hmm. No, that's true. Yeah, one thing that I'm always super interested about is team chemistry, and I'm
Yes.
thinking, I think for some teams, even in the States or North America or whatever, even for some teams, it's hard to get chemistry and you're speaking the same language to people or whatever. I can
Hmm.
imagine out there in Europe, it's probably 10 times harder when the guys don't even probably speak much English to you.
Right, but just like Spanish is our secondary language, English is there. So
Right.
I was really surprised when I found that out. So I wasn't really bad, but when I went to Brazil, that was very tough because I couldn't
Yeah.
understand anything Portuguese at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, that's gotta be wild. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then after Brazil, you came back and you were doing some arena football, I believe.
First it was Bismarck Bucks in January. I signed with them, and then it didn't work out over there. So team in Caxias do Sul, Brazil called me up, and then after I went to New York Streets, the NAL, in Brooklyn, back to Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm. Bouncing around kind of from team to team and league to league. Was it hard for you to stay on that straight path forward? Were there times where you're like, man, I don't know if this is like, I don't know if it's going to keep going forward, or are you always kind of a head down kind of guy, keep going?
I'm a head down type of guy because truthfully, that was probably the best thing for me this year. This year was like a learning experience because not only did I see like the different types of like leagues and whatnot, I've seen the IFL, how you have to, like, it's a very, very quick game in the IFL, that where the NAL is not so quick. It's just, that's a very physical ball game in the NAL. And like overseas, it's like, you just got to be conditioned over there because them guys, they're just they're just faster guys because they're soccer guys. So it's just you just got to stay. I just seen the different types of leagues, and that really benefited me because now it's like, oh God, I know what to expect now. So
yeah. One thing I'm always interested in too is like, you got guys that are in high school and for the better part college. And they're kind of like the star of the team, I guess. And then they go to another team, like you said, it's a league with like different play styles, I guess. Maybe some are better suited to you and some aren't. Did that kind of ever cross your mind? Like, man, like this is gonna be really, really tough, or is it kind of, you're just focused on yourself when you're in those situations?
Truthfully, it was really tough for me because, I played, not only did I just get introduced to like linebacker when I was in, Jack linebacker when I was in arena first, prior this year. And it was just like, what, like, is this really for, like, that's when I started to question myself, like, dang, is this really for me? Like, what am I going to do? Like, like, how am I going to adjust? But then I had to learn, like, if you want to get a spot on the roster, you're going to have to do whatever it takes. So, I just kept going forward after that. So.
Yeah. I think I was reading that you were playing even two ways at some point, right? You're playing running back and DB.
Yes.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. We're doing that in the same game or across different games?
Man, this was same game.
Same game, eh?
Yeah. So I had to upper my conditioning from, like, instead of running for 30 minutes, I had to run for at least an hour or so. So, I had to really get ready.
Yeah, and I think even a huge part of it's not even like, getting physically in shape, but mentally in shape to do that as well, because it's not, you're not learning one playbook, you're learning two playbooks, the offense and the defense. How did you manage that, learning two different playbooks essentially?
I just had to ask as many questions as I could, no matter how crazy I sound, like, just had to ask as many questions. If I'm doing something right, tell me. If I'm doing something wrong, tell me. Everything I was doing, I wanted feedback on if I'm doing this the way you wanted it. Like, not the way I was taught, but the way you wanted it to be, So that's basically what it was.
Yeah, I think other athletes that are in that position might struggle because, they think asking questions is like a sign of weakness or something, or a sign that they're not doing good. But I think you really got to kind of be humble as an athlete and realize, you're good. You're there for a reason, but there's always things you can learn, and you're only going to learn by asking questions and how to get better and everything.
Right.
What's the plan now going forward? I know you're training 5 days a week, like you said, sometimes or 2 days. You still just grinding out, trying to get the other shot?
Arena, yes, and I've heard from the XFL, so just waiting to get back, just waiting to get feedback into that, and just waiting for a draft pool invite, and then we're just gonna see what happens after that.
Yeah, man, that if you get the XFL, that would be crazy because
very crazy.
There was, I know the first time they rolled out, there was quite a bit of hype about it, and now I think this time, because I think it's still Vince McMahon doing it.
Yes.
I think he's still writing the show, yeah. And he's got some other guys too. I know Andrew Luckstad's part of it, and they got a whole bunch of football guys. So I think they've learned from their mistakes from the first time they tried, and I think this next time.
And the AAF at that
and
too.
And the AAF, yeah, that was a short-lived one as well. But I think they're going to learn from a lot of experiences, and man, that's probably about as close to the pros as there's going to be out there on TV without actually, like, not the pros, sorry, the NFL.
Yes.
Without actually getting to that NFL, that I could just imagine like the fan experience and the atmosphere in those stadiums would be unreal.
Yes.
Is that something that kind of it excites you when you see a large stadium, or do you still block all that out and you're only kind of focused on what's inside your, your 2 years ahead?
Yeah, like that's still, I'm not worried about that. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just trying to, make a roster at this point and, just, have fun with it. Cause I'm trying to do this as long as I can, but I know this isn't going to be a game forever. So, I'm just trying to have fun, but at the same time, still experience, the good things about it. Like, yeah, you play in front of thousands, but you still want to just have fun with the game. Like, you don't want to be too distracted by what's outside the field. So that's what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know it's been quite a long journey for you. I'm sure on the way, there's people that have told you no, you can't, or try to doubted you. Mm-hmm. Do you respond to any of those haters, or do you just kind of ignore them?
I don't really respond to them. I just go about my business. I just be like, in my mind, I'm like laughing because I'm just like, I mean, out of all people in the world, if you're chosen, if you're offered a certain contract or position, that means you're one out of the people who could get it done. Like, so, I just think I just go about my business, about I laugh because, I mean, I'm here for a reason. So,
yeah. Yeah. What I know a lot of people struggle with that. I think a big thing about it is social media too, because it's just, you got so many haters on social media for whatever you do. There's always going to be somebody there out to get you. What kind of advice would you give probably young athletes that are trying to, make that next step, but they got people knocking them, whether it's, in person or in their personal life or on social media?
Just definitely stay focused because, they're going to be everywhere you go, even after football. At your 9-to-5 job, they're going to be everywhere. So might as well get used to it. Might as well not retaliate because they're either trying to knock you off to get your spot or, just trying to really knock you off your game and just, ruin your life. So just got to ignore it. Keep pushing.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. Thanks, guys, for checking out this episode of Inside the Mind, a podcast for athletes. If you enjoyed any part of this podcast, please share it with your friends and family, and I'll see you next time.